Hi. Hi. Well, we're live again Tuesday morning. I'm live with my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hello, good morning.
It's great to see you. It's good to be here together.
hmm
So you had an inspiration, and I want to hear what inspired this subject today.
Well, I had a really busy week, and I want before I get into that, I wanted to say that I did read one of the comments that, and I'm not sure because I need to go back and look at that. I'm not very good at finding those things and finding who sent it and responding. So I will do that. That they liked what I said about retirement. And unless I write things down, I don't always remember exactly what I said. So I will do that and I will respond next week on that. I didn't have time. And this is why I spent the whole week. You want me to stop?
Well, I was just going to take this opportunity to let people know that we're going live every Tuesday morning. And I'm also uploading our lives to YouTube. So you can catch the recordings either on my Facebook page here or in YouTube. And if you're not finding what you want of these lives, then please DM either one of us and we can send you the recordings.
Do
Okay,
that.
logistics out of the way.
Okay, cool. Um, they always pop in anyway. So I spent from Wednesday on at in Maryland watching at my daughter's, one of my daughters, Near and Car being one of them, watching lacrosse. My grandsons play lacrosse, and it was really, really fun and great to see everybody. And I even got to see my grandson from Chicago play on Saturday. But this is what happened to one of my grandsons, and it really made an impact on me. He was at a park with a friend, and I don't know why they were doing this because they were. He was trying to he did a back um well, a back, what do you call it? Help me out here.
A
A back,
flip,
no,
a
well,
walkover, like a
no,
back walkover,
a back roundup, a
round off. Uh-huh.
roundup. Anyway, so he was doing that and he was jumping up to see how high he got to perform a backflip out of the round off. It's a round off. I got it now. Thank goodness. Thank you. I'm grateful. Anyway, so he didn't realize it, but there was this young man. Well, it was a child. Well, he was a kid. Anyway, he was probably around, my grandson thought he was around, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years old in there. And he was watching him do this. And he began to talk to him. The young man was talking to my grandson and said, what are you trying to do? And he said, I'm trying to see if I could do a backflip out of the round off. So the young man looked at him and said, all you need to do is commit. And I get goosebumps when I say that. So my grandson decided that he was committing to throwing the backflip out of the round off. And he had a video and showed us all of how proud he was to do that. And he committed and did it. And then the young man who said you have to commit then did a round off 2 backflips and then did a standing front flip. So obviously the young man, the young man that was talking to my grandson is in gymnastics and very good. So that I got thinking a lot about that and woke up, I don't know, one morning after that happened. I guess that was so it must have been, it doesn't matter, Sunday to Monday before I left. And I woke up at 3 o'clock thinking about that word commit and what that meant to me and how this kind of, our intention is to talk about generational healing and to realize that I really didn't understand that whole word commit and how important that was to manifest what we want in our life and to change what we don't want. And then I had wished that I had my journal with me, which I did not, because I had a whole list of commitments that I really feel are important in my life. And the one that when I woke up this morning, realizing I have to put that word commit almost on my mirror in my room, so that when I wake up, that I make a commitment to what I want in my life. It doesn't have to be long, and a commitment to live my true self in love and light, and then the commitment for my day and what I want for my day, how I want the day that I'm grateful and blessed to live through another day. So I am so excited about this word commit. And before I left yesterday, I saw my grandson as he went to school, and I said to him, he's a sophomore in high school, and I said to him, this whole thing of commit really impacted me, and I woke up thinking a lot about that. So hopefully we'll have another conversation, my grandson and I. But I wanted to bring this. I'm so excited about that whole thing. I want to do a board and hang it on my wall. Maybe I'm out of control with this, but I realized that most of my life I haven't really understood that. I don't know whether I said this, but whether I really understood that and the importance of understanding how important that was, and finding, it's like finding a purpose and committing to that purpose. So maybe my purpose is to talk about commit for now. I don't know. You said you had a lot to share with that too, Niranjar.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna play a muting game because to make sure our sound is good. Um, oh my gosh, I have so much to say. First, I've been geeking out on human design. Those of you who know what human design is, Mom, you and I haven't ever, we've talked about it maybe a little bit, but the reason I bring it up is because one, human design is about learning to listen to how the universe talks to you and what evidences it gives you along the way of your journey. And so the reason this is so exciting for me is because 2 years ago, I taught for an entire year. I taught 8 classes of an 8-week course, eight or maybe more, called Get Well, Stay Well Naturally. And that course had an entire week dedicated to commit. And so it's been a huge part of my own personal learning in my own journey. And the reason I put it into the class at that time was because it had that the word commit, the energy of commit had such a strong effect on me through a coaching program that I did. So I'll just give credit to my coaches. 3 of them come to mind, Deborah Fryer, Kendra Thornberry, and Connor Sauer, around this essence of you can do anything you want to do. And if you haven't done it yet, you haven't actually committed to it. And that comes up whether it's committing to healing yourself, committing to making more money, committing to living a healthier lifestyle, committing to having relationships that you love, committing to spending more time in nature, committing to generational healing, and the idea that commitment is not easy. No, when you've committed, then you get to like navigate all the bumps in the road. Like, oh, this feels hard. But I've committed to it, and so I'm going to keep going. And there's this essence of just keep going, just keep going. And that circles back around to my understanding of my own design, my own human design. And when I start things, I have a dedication to committing to finishing them. I can think of some times that I haven't, but and even in like a mother-daughter relationship, and then I'll be quiet and let you see what's coming up for you, Mom. But there's when we have gone through bumps in our relationship, and actually being committed to being uncomfortable together, talking them through, like learning to release them and let go of them, and do my own work and have my own responsibility to moving through the blocks, rather than continually living in a place of victimhood, or that, oh, my mom's done this to me. And yeah, so I'll stop there.
That's really interesting that we kind of brought that back to why we decided to. Sorry. Why
No
we decided.
apologies necessary.
Well,
Love you.
I know, but that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth. That we decided to do this at 11 o'clock every Tuesday morning, because there lately and for a while, I have come to acknowledge that some of the choices that I made impacted you and your sisters, and the ability to, and I don't know whether it's an ability, it's more a blessing that I know that my relationship with all of my daughters is one of the most important things in my life, and have really put that parenting, and I'm you three, and and then my stepdaughter was a part of this too, as primary in my life, my primary purpose. But I have also been very understanding that I didn't always make good choices for the way it impacted you. But back to committing to that, and what that means in today's world for me. Maybe my commitment wasn't where it needed to be earlier in everyone's lives, even my own life. But in today's world, that commitment is extremely important to me. And what that means is that I make a promise to myself that I will sit through those difficult, hard times. And one of those difficult, hard times happened several weekends ago with another one, with one of my daughters. And when it came up, my initial response was, I'm packing my stuff and I'm out of here. I'm going. And I knew that wasn't what I really wanted to do, but that's that whole fight or flight. And I wanted to fly. And I had to sit in that pain and swallow and breathe and say, and pray and ask for help in what in talking and in saying the things that I wanted to say in that situation, and know that to say in love and light, and move towards that whole thing of that understanding and knowing and trusting that the universe has my back, that I live in that light and that love, and that if I sit quietly, that I will be helped to say and to talk about the things I needed to talk about, and to see the pain for both of us. And I am forever grateful that I'm there. And I know that you and I have had those times, and that's all. What a blessing that is. And making that, going back to the whole thing of commitment, making that commitment that I won't run, that I will sit in that pain, and I will sit in that pain with whoever it is I am sitting with at the moment, whether it be myself or one of my daughters, or whoever, someone I'm in relationship with. It isn't. That is probably one of the hardest things to do.
Can I jump in here? Well, first of all, in this generational experience, I want to thank you, because I think there are whole generations that have not learned and practiced how to emote, how to be in emotion and sadness and grief. And that's part of what we're doing here. We're showing and leading the way through forgiveness of ourselves and of circumstance, and what it looks like and feels like to be in emotion, the discomfort of emotion, that you're committed to your own healing, and that is messy. And I have so much respect for your ability to be so authentic here. We never know what's going to come up, and it's raw and it's real, and I love you so much. Another thing that came up for me is that imagine what it would be like to sit in this same container with your mother. You know, that my grandmother to sit in this space and be able to share with her what was hurtful about your growing up. Like, imagine. And the other thing that just comes through me is like, and we get to celebrate us moving forward. Like, we don't even have to live there, but that sometimes we go back there and grief comes up and pain comes up, and we get to forgive again and move on and look forward and commit to our own happiness, like moving forward. And we don't need to, like, that's actually it. It's like in the emoting, it is the releasing and the forgiving. And then we don't have to live there on a cellular level. Like, there's a memory, but then we move forward. So
I
I
kind of
just
want,
hold on. Okay.
I really wanted to address what that would feel like to sit with my mom and to talk about, growing up and some of the feelings I had. I have really looked at that, and really for a very long time, my prayer has been, above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see things differently. And a part of seeing things differently is the willingness to know that some of our own perceptions and attitudes, perception is, I think, the word I want, is the way we were brought. I don't want to get into that, but our perception isn't always right on target when we begin to see others' perception and we begin to share that and we begin to feel that. I could emote all the things I felt that were done in my life. But I really see my mother's pain also. And I see where she came from and her own self-imposed limitations around those things. And that I don't have to be stuck there, and neither does she anymore. That we can move and not be stuck there, and live in the love, forgiveness, and the light that it's intended that we live in. Grievances, love holds no grievances. And when you begin to feel that and know that this is a journey, it's a process, it's not a destination, and we can hold hands in that process. It gives you a different feeling than, I'm going to sit with you and tell you all the things that I felt didn't go right. We all are doing the best we can. And sometimes it's not what we would have liked, but the blessing in that is that we understand that and can talk about that and emote that and share that with one another. So
Yes.
that's what I want.
Amen. Amen. If this feels like a natural, like, closing, and so if you're joining us right now, um, then welcome, and the replay will be here. I am curious to hear if the sound is working, and if you're hearing me well, and because anyway, it would be great to have a little bit of feedback on the line. Anything else? So to bring this back to commitment, Mom, I want to thank you for your commitment of your own journey, like really being committed to your own healing journey. Because I think what we don't realize is that when we're committed to ourselves and to our own healing journey, then that's actually a gift for all of those around us, whether they realize it at the time or not. And so I just thank you for your commitment and how it's had an effect on me. And I think that my commitment to my own healing journey has had an effect on you and my daughter and my grandmother and my grandchildren, and that's how generational work works. So especially among women and daughters. So just really love that we're here together and committed to this weekly conversation. I do want to just ask you one quick question. What do you think gives you the ability to sit in your own healing journey the way you do?
And maybe this is what we can talk about for next Tuesday, because there's a lot of that's an interesting question, and a very a question that I think deserves to be explored. I think what surface gives me that is my need to be liked. So, which is how I got, and the need to please. I'm writing this down so we remember, or I remember, because, but then I saw, or I experienced, or that's a part of above all else I want to see. When you say that, and when you say above all else, I want to see differently, if you're standing in a difficult situation and you say a quiet prayer in your head, help me see this differently, then you make that commitment to sitting in that pain, to sitting in whatever it takes to see that situation differently. And that was a part of my work for 40 years, to see things differently.
Well, what if we can talk about this next week, but what if your journey, your healing journey, in your effort to be liked and loved, that you're actually in search of your own personal ability to like and love yourself.
And let's start off there next week, because I think that is the basis for all of this. And I have to think about this the next week.
Okay, beautiful beings. Well, it's been fun. This has been a long one. I upload these conversations to YouTube each week. You can find them on my YouTube channel, Nirankar Morangi, I believe is what it is. And we're just going to keep going. I believe that, and for those of you who don't know, my mom and I are in business together. And if you're curious about that, that has for me personally, been a beautiful journey and a transformation in and of itself and a commitment. And I am grateful for that. And so if you're curious about that, we do have beautiful opportunities for you to join us and to learn what we're doing and why we're doing it. But in the meantime, here's to your own generational healing, however it manifests for you. I love you, Mom.
I love you, Nirankar. And I love
Bye.
all of you out there sending love and light out.
Much love. Okay. Talk next week.